What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2025 Honda Ridgeline Sport. Huge thank you to Sam Rubin over here at Safford Honda of Arlington, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Ridgeline or any Honda product, then I'll be sure to have Sam's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It is an absolutely beautiful March day outside here today, which makes for nearly perfect filming conditions. There is a little bit of wind and the occasional plane flying over, but just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2025 Honda Ridgeline Sport, and this particular one's been painted in the optional $455 Radiant Red Metallic 2. I wanted to preface this video by saying there have been no changes made to the Ridgeline for the 2025 model year. So with that in mind, as standard with the Sport, you get LED headlights with automatic high beams as well as standard daytime running lights, standard turn signals, and LED fog lights. Now, taking a few steps to the left, here is a front-on shot of the Ridgeline. You can see you get the gloss black grille trim at the top of the grille. And you can see on the outsides, it would separate what would be your daytime running lights if this was a higher trim model from your headlights. But nonetheless, gloss black trim there at the top. You get that gray painted front grille with the Honda logo at the center and the Sport logo offset to the lower right-hand side of the grille. And when you come down just a little bit, you get the satin black lower fascia. This is what I'm referring to as that lower fascia, and then you get that gray painted front chin right there. Last but not least, the Sport gets 7.6 inches of ground clearance. So I own a Honda Ridgeline personally. Mine's a 2007. We've been through some serious snowstorms with that thing, and these things are nearly unbeatable. I know it only has 7.5 inches of ground clearance, let's call it, but these things are absolute beasts in the snow. I also got a Silverado 2500, and the Ridgeline will run circles around that Silverado in the snow. Doesn't matter how deep it is, the Ridgelines are really badass in the snow. So if you're going for a awesome daily that you can throw stuff in, and it'll also tackle nearly any sort of terrain that you're looking to tackle, the Ridgeline is definitely worth a closer look. But as mentioned, you get that satin black lower fascia. That satin black lower fascia leads into the satin black wheel arch moldings. And then this one being the Sport, you get the 18-inch shark gray wheels that are wrapped in 245/60 Firestone Destination LE2 all-season tires. I'll give you a quick view of the tread pattern on these tires here, and then I'll also throw the price of one tire on screen right now as well. By the way, no optional wheels here for the Sport. And then here is a front 3/4 shot of this thing. All Ridgelines get all-wheel drive as standard. It is the VTM 4 all-wheel drive system, and as I just mentioned, it is a fantastic system, and I know that from personal use. Coming down the side, you get the gloss black mirror caps, and they are power adjustable and manual folding as standard. If you wanted the heated side view mirrors, you have to take a look at one trim level up, which is the RTL, and the RTL is an additional $2,830 over the Sport. But in my opinion, I think it may be worth it, and I'll tell you why here in the coming few minutes. But satin black window trim, you get body color door handles with keyless access function only on the front 2 door handles. The rear 2 door handles do not get the keyless access function. And then you get that satin black door cladding found at the bottom of all of your passenger doors. So you get the satin black lower fascia, wheel arch moldings, door cladding, and it leads here into the rear, which I will talk about in a second. Up top here, body color antenna. You also get your third brake light located there. You get the gloss black pillars, and then also a rear window defroster standard. You get some satin black up top here for your bed rails. You have your fuel door here on the driver's side. 87 octane will do you just fine with this thing. And if you wanted to open up the fuel door, you have to come here to the driver's side, press that on the door panel, and then you have access to your capless filler. That is what it looks like down in there. Taking a few steps here to the rear, this is a unibody construction. You get an independent front and rear suspension. It basically feels like you're driving a Honda Odyssey with a bed. That's essentially what this thing is, but that is a huge plus in my book. Fantastic on-road ride. It can still tow, and you can throw stuff in the bed. It's an overall really like a Swiss Army knife of a vehicle, and in my opinion, this is one of the best trucks that you can buy today. I hope they never stop making the Ridgeline, I love them. Standard taillights back here. You can see for 2024, they did, and I'm saying for 2024 on purpose, they redesigned it subtly here on the exterior where you now get the Ridgeline lettering stamped into the tailgate. You get the chrome Honda and Sport badging. The Sport fill letter are red. You get the chrome outline. Backup camera there. You get the dual action tailgate, meaning you can drop the tailgate, but you can also reach underneath this E, final E, put your hand there, and boom, you get the dual action tailgate. It is actually very useful because the Ridgeline also has underbed storage. So when you do the dual action, you put your hand underneath here and boom, that gives you access to a very deep, you can call it cooler, you can call it storage area. The reason why I call it a cooler, you can fill this thing up with ice if you go to a Commanders game. You open that up at the end of the day, it's going to drain out all the fluids, and then you can put back your, you know, whatever you want to set back here. Sometimes I set blankets back here, tarps, toe straps, things like that, and none of it ever gets wet. You just got to make sure that you keep this seal here nice and clean. Hit it with some Windex and it will clean that up. However, I do have a little product that I use for screens, I use for glass, I use for the vehicles. You can literally wash your vehicle with this. It's called O&R. Basically, you need a Zep bottle, you need 2 microfibers, you need to wet the heck out of 1 microfiber, keep the other one dry, and then you wipe down it with the wet microfiber, then you follow it up with that dry microfiber, and that is how you keep your windows clean. That is how you keep this seal clean. I'll throw it on screen right now. It's worth a closer look. I was an ex-detailer, and that is what we used to detail some vehicles, or all the vehicles really. And then you get 2 tie-down hooks in each corner for a total of 8, and then here on the passenger side you get a storage cubby that you can set small items in, and then also you get 2 halogen cargo lights back here. Closing that back up, finishing things off here at the rear, you get a satin black rear bumper, you get a dual exhaust system, you get a class 3 trailer hitch there at the center with the 7-pin connector. The Sport comes with a heavy-duty trans cooler for a max tow capacity of 5,000 pounds. So if you're towing 5,000 pounds, in theory, the transmission should not overheat. I've towed 5,000 pounds with my 07 Ridgeline. It's got 240,000 miles on it. I towed our boat 5,000 pounds last year, 2-hour road trip, no problem for it. Yes, on hills it will struggle compared to my 2,500, obviously, but you know, VTECs make their power up top, so when it's revving, you're not really stressing the engine out all that much. That is where it likes to be. That's where it makes power, hence why it does sound a little loud when you are towing up hills. And if you need a little bit more of a tow capacity, you tow 5,000 pounds frequently, the Ridgeline is not the truck for you. If you tow it infrequently, it will do you just fine. Also, I wanted to compare the Sport to the RTL. If you wanted leather, blind spot monitoring, a power sunroof, heated front seats, heated outside mirrors, then you might want to take a look at the RTL, which is the next trim level up. That is going to cost you an additional $2,830, however. So if you want the base model, this is what you get. If you want a few more creature comforts, take a look at the RTL. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the 3.5 liter naturally aspirated VTEC V6 that produces 280 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in about 6 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 18 miles per gallon in the city, 24 miles per gallon on the highway for 21 miles per gallon combined with all-wheel drive. Pretty decent fuel economy considering what you get. And comparing this to a Tacoma or a Nissan Frontier, those two are body-on-frame trucks. They're going to be a little bit more capable when it comes to off-road and then towing capacity. But if you don't really go off-road that much, you don't tow that often, maybe you do have a 21-foot center console or a side-by-side, this is going to do you just fine. And this is really the best happy medium between a daily and a truck, because it's going to, again, ride like a Honda Odyssey, but it's going to be able to tow like a truck. It's just not going to be the best at towing around 5,000 pounds, but it will get the job done and it will be totally fine. Nothing will break. But if you want ease of towing, take a look at an F-150 or something equivalent to that. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Also, comment, subscribe. Those 3 things look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm. That is what helps me grow. This is my full-time gig. So if you guys have learned anything, if you're enjoying the video, like, comment, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, not only do I post car review videos, I also have a few personal vehicles of my own. Corvette Z06, Cammed Camaro, and a 1974 Volkswagen Karmann Ghia. So if any of that stuff piques your interest, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at 703speed. I would greatly appreciate your support. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier, keyless access is standard. All you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, hand behind the door handle, it unlocks. You can also lock it by pressing that black button there, and it will lock right back up. This is what the key fob looks like. It's satin black with some gloss black, and going over the functions on it, starting from the top, you have your lock function, your unlock function, your remote start function, and your panic function. If you wanted to remote start this, all you got to do, lock, hold, she'll fire right up. Take a second. And that is what the VTEC V6 sounds like being fired up from the exterior's perspective. First thing I wanted to go over is that black cloth is the only interior color you can get here with the Sport. We'll get more into that in a second. I want to start on the door panel. So first things first, you have your door handle, your unlock and your lock functions. This is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. You have automatic up and down windows in the front. You do not get automatic up or down windows in the back. Nicely padded armrest, leather wrap, accent colored stitching, storage space, cup holder, gas pump to pop open the gas thing, storage space, and a speaker. This thing does come standard with a 7-speaker sound system. You also get a manually adjustable driver's seat and a manually adjustable front passenger seat. Now we're gonna step on into the interior and see what the rest of the interior of this thing has to offer. We're gonna close the door here first. Push to start. We'll get access here into the screens. And now I'm just going to walk you throughout the entire interior. Starting over here, you have your tweeter, HVAC vent. Your power side view mirror controls are located right here. This is going to put you into your eco mode. This is for your lane departure mitigation system. This is for your collision mitigation braking system, traction control on or off. That is going to turn those rear cargo lights I showed you in the bed on or off. Flipping that down gives you access into your manual tilt and telescoping wheel. Push it away from you, bring it towards you, and it also moves up and down. Once you find your comfortable position, all you got to do, lock it right back into place. And now take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like. Not only is that your turn signal control stock, it is also your high beam control stock and your headlight control stock, as well as your fog light control stock. I like to leave it in automatic personally. Now zooming back out, you get a leather wrapped steering wheel, and like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. Take a listen. That is what the horn sounds like here on the Ridgeline. You also get steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, downshift on the left, upshift on the right. And now going over the controls here on the steering wheel, this is to go forwards and or backwards on the track. This is for your volume controls. And then the home button and that scroll knob are both for your partially digital gauge cluster. So left, you have your digital gauge cluster part. Right, you have your analog speedometer. And then that right there, you can tell the vehicle to turn audio system to FM, AM, etc., maybe Bluetooth audio. If you press and hold on that wall connected to Apple CarPlay, that will pop open Siri. And then coming to the right hand side of your steering wheel, this thing does come standard with Honda sensing, and that includes the adaptive cruise control. And as I mentioned, you also get the collision mitigation braking system, the lane keep assist system, and the road departure mitigation system. So on the right hand side of the screen, the steering wheel, that is for your adaptive cruise control settings. And then taking a look at what we got going on here with the gauge cluster, you can see on the right you have your analog speedometer, digital speedometer readout, you got your drive mode, the temperature outside, odometer, transmission status, and that is your fuel range down there. And then you have your coolant temperature gauge, that is the current time. And right now this is set to the fuel economy stuff. Again, if you wanted to control that, you have these two buttons here. So we can go in our home button, and then you can go in between range and fuel, speed and time, audio stuff, phone stuff, navigation stuff, all-wheel drive torque distribution. This is kind of a cool screen, tells you where the power is, or how the vehicle is being powered forward. Maintenance, tire pressure, no contacts. You can adjust the brightness. You can go through the display settings. I'm just gonna leave it on range and fuel. Very easy to use screen. All you gotta do is go throughout the screen, and then you press on that to select different things. It's very, again, easy to use. And then coming to the center stack here, you get the 9-inch infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. On the outside of the screen, you have your physical home, back, volume and forwards and backwards on a track buttons. And then throughout the screen, this is the home button. So you get your time down here. You can see how like that battery right there has the lightning bolt through it. That is because this does come standard with a wireless charging pad, and my phone is charging in the wireless charging pad at the moment. And then that's letting you know how much signal my phone has, and then how much battery my phone has as well. You also get some shortcut buttons at the bottom of the screen for your phone, FM, all of these different things down here. You can go into display mode. You can turn the display off. You can adjust the brightness of the display. But this is what the home button looks like. You can pop up your trip computer, kind of the same information that you get right there. And then you get this screen here. You can go into your vehicle settings, and you can go in between your lighting settings, meter settings. You can go in between all of these different settings here on screen now. And then you get all of these different things here. Very easy to use screen. I don't feel like I need to spend too much time on it. This was new for 2024. Airbag stuff there, hazard button. This is a tri-zone climate control vehicle. However, the rear only gets the HVAC vents. If you wanted to control the rear settings, they all have to be controlled throughout the settings here on the dash. So to control the rear, all you got to do is click on rear settings, and you can adjust the fan speed of it. You can adjust the temperature of it here from the driver's side. I don't think you can do it from both the driver and the passenger, or you can just sync it to the driver there. I'm going to go back out of here. Now we're in our regular settings. You have spots you can set your 2 phones in there. iPhone 14 Pro Max, you can fit that there. You can fit that there, but if you do a hard acceleration, it probably will come sliding out. USB-A port, USB-C port, 12-volt power outlet, some storage space down there. Again, wireless charging pad, iPhone 14 Pro Max. It fits in the wireless charging pad. And then zooming back out, 2 cup holders. You get your push button transmission stuff here. And then you have 4 different drive modes. So you've got your normal mode, you've got your snow mode, you've got your mud mode, and your sand mode. I am going to stay in normal mode for right now. Drive mode selector again right there. That is to turn auto stop start on or off. You get a nicely padded armrest right here. When you open this thing up, no connectivity down in there. You get a spot you can set a pen, but decent amount of storage space there in the center console. Lockable lower glove box, decent amount of storage space in the glove box. This is what the passenger side looks like. Standard rear view mirror, lights straight out of 2007, same looking as my Ridgeline 07. Then you get your door stuff. If you bring it all the way back, the doors will not open when you open up, or the lights will not turn on when you open up the doors. If it's there at the middle, the lights will turn on when you open up the doors, and then all the way forward is to turn all the interior dome lights on. I'm gonna leave it on off. And then opening this up, you get a spot you could set your sunglasses. Coming over to here, you have your vanity mirror, no vanity lights. Does this slide in and out? It does. So when the sun is in those awkward positions, boom, it slides in and out. Grab handle here for the driver. My Ridgeline does not have one of those. Grab handle over there for the front passenger. And as I mentioned when we were at the rear, now that all these vehicles have all these screens, you can get fingerprints all over this. You can get fingerprints all over the screen. Take a look at ONR. Not only does it help you get all your fingerprints off, it also can go on the leather, it can go on the glass, it can go on your mirrors, it can go on the exterior of the vehicle. It is a very, very useful thing if you guys clean your own vehicles and you just want to maintain it very easily. I'm telling you guys, that is the way to go. I used to be a car detailer, and that is what we used to use. Very, very easy, and it's also very affordable as well. And you don't have to pay to get your car washed all the time, because it's just very easy and very cheap. But now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at everything that you get standard. The one option that this does have is the exterior paint color, but I am just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2025 Ridgeline Sport is spec'd is $42,000 on the nose. So 42,000 bucks. I think you get a lot of vehicle for your money. It's very comfortable. This is the base model, so keep in mind it does get nicer from here. Better sound systems, built-in navigation, LED lights on the exterior. You get a lot more stuff with that. Power sunroof. But if you're not looking at spending a whole bunch of money, you get everything that you need here in this thing. And you get a wireless charging pad, which is nice. Adaptive cruise control. You get the wireless CarPlay. Very, very nice stuff here for a base model. But I do want to show you what we got going on in the rear seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. So on the door, you can see, let's see, I think the windows should go all the way down, and they do. You get a cup holder, armrest. No storage space, but you get a speaker. One thing that I personally really love about the Ridgeline, and my Ridgeline has this same exact thing. You pull up on this, and you get storage space. So this is where when I bring my dog around with me, I pull up on this and my dog will lay down right here. It's very comfortable for him, and that seat also lifts up as well. Again, push it right back down and it goes right back into place. And then stepping here into the rear seats. Again, I am 5'9" and I am adjusted behind myself. I still have a good bit of knee and leg room. Headroom, I've got quite a bit of headroom left over as well. You get a grab handle, a grocery bag, or excuse me, a dry cleaning hook there. You get the same stuff over there on that side. You get your 2 HVAC vents down in here, and you also get a 12-volt outlet down here on the center console. Then, last but not least, you also get your center fold-down armrest with 2 cup holders and a little bit of storage space. But really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the interior of this thing. You know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior of this thing. So, I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So, I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. Do you want the best driving truck of all time? This is the truck for you. I know Ram 1500s and GMC Sierra Denali Ultimates, at least for the Ram's sake, that's a nice Corvette. The Rams have an air suspension, but nothing will beat the ride of a Honda Ridgeline. I'll tell you right now, even if it is a base model, this is still going to ride better than a Ram 1500 with the air suspension. The air suspension on that Ram 1500 is there's still a lot more body roll in that than in this, and it's also a little bit bouncier as well. What's nice about the Ridgeline is, I've said this a few times throughout today's video, it's basically a Honda Odyssey with a truck bed, and that's where the Ridgelines get a lot of their hate, is because it's a unibody construction, same construction found on a Honda Odyssey, Honda Pilot, vehicles like that. That's why people don't consider this a real truck, and they like to hate up and down all over Instagram, YouTube, etc. There's a lot of Ridgeline hate, and I think a lot of it is unwarranted, and I personally think that the Ridgeline is an overhated vehicle on the internet. You know, a lot of internet trolls, I don't think they've truly experienced a Ridgeline, or they just don't like the Ridgeline because it's got a V6 in a unibody construction. But if you have half of a brain and you actually driven one, they're much better than a lot of people think. Though a lot of people now do really like the Ridgeline, and for good reason. It's very comfortable. It rides extremely well on back roads. It rides extremely well on the highway. It's still very capable. You can tow a boat with it. You can tow your side-by-sides. You can tow your jet skis, as long as it's under 5,000 pounds, which 5,000 pounds is a lot. A 21-foot center console is about 5,000 pounds. If you got a 23 or anything bigger, you're going to want to step up to a 1,500. Yes, is a 1,500 truck going to tow a 5,000 pound boat better than the Ridgeline? Absolutely. But if you don't tow frequently, then why do you need that? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, look at this Ridgeline right here. It's a 2007. She's got her battle scars. Look at that dent there on the side. My Ridgeline has 240 something thousand miles on it, but she still rips. I still drive that thing daily, even though it's old and it's got a lot of miles. Good acceleration out of the V6. It sounds fantastic as well. That is one thing I love about the V6, VTEC V6s, is they love to scream. I don't know if you guys have seen the new Honda Pilot. The new Honda Pilot no longer has the VTEC V6. It's some regular V6 now. This still has the VTEC. It sounds great. You can hear it really start to kick in when it's like, argh. I know it sounds kind of funny, right? But that's when the VTEC kicks in. Just an overall fantastic vehicle. I mean, guys, you can haul your family around in it. You can put stuff in the bed. You can tow with it. I mean, what more out of a vehicle can you ask for? It's super comfortable, and it also is rather fuel efficient. It could be a little bit better in the city, 18 miles per gallon in the city. I mean, for a vehicle of this size, it's really not that bad. But it would be nice to see a little bit better fuel economy out of it. 24 on the highway is great in my opinion. But you know, in stop and go traffic, it seems like the V6 likes to drink a little bit. It might not necessarily have a drinking problem. I think my Ridgeline has more of a drinking problem than this, but I think all of that stems to a 5-speed auto versus a 9-speed auto. You have those more gears on the highway. You can keep that RPM a little bit lower at speed, which is how you get that good fuel economy. Infotainment system, rather easy to use. I mean, I don't really feel like I need to spend too much time explaining how to use it. It's rather self-explanatory. Love how this thing has the wireless charging pad. And the sound system, for being a standard sound system, it actually doesn't sound as bad as one might expect, at least what I would have expected. I don't know why this guy isn't going. We kind of have a light we can go. It's not no turn on red. Anyway, the all-wheel drive system in this thing is fantastic. I'm not sure if you guys have ever driven a Ridgeline off-road or in the snow, but if you guys have, I want to know your stories in the comments down below. I am a Ridgeline owner myself. I've been driving one as long as I could drive. I've been driving a Ridgeline, and even before I could drive, I was driving a Ridgeline, and I've experienced it in 2 feet of snow. I've experienced it in 9 inches of snow. Doesn't matter, it does fantastic. I got a Silverado 2500, and the Ridgeline, as I mentioned, will run laps around that Silverado in the snow. It's just something about the all-wheel drive system, something about the wheelbase of this compared to the 2500. I mean, the Ridgeline is just so much better in the snow. And I tell everybody who likes to talk crap about the Ridgeline, I say, put your F-150 up against my Ridgeline in 2 feet of snow, and we'll see who can get further. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just very capable, and it's also just very comfortable as well. It's just really one of the best vehicles that you can buy on the market now. I mean, it's a good price still, and I mean, yeah, it is getting more expensive, but it's still a decent value. And it's really one of the best vehicles, again, that you can buy on the road if you're looking for something that you can throw stuff in, you can haul your family in, and you can tow. I mean, look no further than the Ridgeline. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Again, liking, commenting, and subscribing look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm. That is what helps me grow. That is what helps me achieve my dreams. So if you guys enjoy any of this video, if you enjoyed any part of this video, if you learned anything from this video, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, not only do I post YouTube reviews, I also do vlog style content of my own personal vehicles, Corvette Z06, Cam'd Camaro, and I also have a Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. I know not too many people have one of those, so if any of that stuff piques your interest, subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at 703speed. I post similar content on there, more about my personal vehicles on those other 2 platforms. But if you guys are interested, follow, subscribe. I would appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.